staying with it. I think, we got down a few times, kept battling back, and then we had a number of guys make timely plays down the stretch, and it was huge. And the effort plays, the hustle plays, sticking with it. I think Deuce made a big three there. Josh's, offensive rebounds. Precious had a big offensive rebound. The offensive rebounding was huge. Made a big difference in the game. We had 100 shots. They had 83. But those extra possessions, they were needed, obviously. But, we never, hung our heads, just kept battling, scratching back. Mikhail was incredible throughout the game, and I thought OG had great impact on the game, great impact. So when Menyama was, stretching us out pretty good, and then, you got to guard him. He's, very skilled, but I thought that got us going a little bit. Jalen made some tough plays, but we needed everybody just to find a way to win, and that's the most important thing. And I thought we took care of the ball. We didn't turn it over, and in the end, found a way to scratch it out.
Will you talk a little about the energy out there in terms of just Christmas stuff like that?
Yeah, no, look, it's not easy because it's a holiday, it's a family day, and these guys they make a lot of sacrifices, and they have young kids, and so. But we also know it's an honor and a privilege to be playing on this day, so we embrace that. We also know what it means to our city and our fans, and so we wanted to give them something to be proud of, and hopefully we can, spend time the rest of the day with our families, and then, on to the next one.
What is the key to how do you deal with Wembanyama? This is going to be an issue for coaches for the next 20 years. What do you do with this guy?
And what he's doing, because he's so skilled, and it presents problems, and it's similar to what Cat does, and because you have to defend him all over the floor, and oftentimes it's transition, and it's in a scramble, and it's a pitch back, and if you're not alert and aware, like sometimes your guards have to switch out on that. And I thought the second half we did a better job with that, but if he gets an open look and he's got balance, it's going to be a good shot. And then you put smaller on him, he can go into the post. And he's good putting it on the floor. So, a guy like that you have to guard with your team, but you also have to be aware of what's going on. And Chris Paul is the way he can run a team. That helps them a lot. And then I think, Vassell is, he's working his way back coming from an injury, but Vassell's a unbelievable talent, as is Sohan. Sohan really hurt us with energy and effort. And so we knew, they're playing good basketball, so we knew we would be tested. And then, just find a way to win.
What makes Josh such a good runner?
I think anticipation, reading the ball, he reads the ball coming off the hand, and getting his reaction to the ball is great. So, and oftentimes he's on the perimeter, and if he gets that running start, he's tough to stop.
Tom, what you talked a lot about Mikhail finding a rhythm over the last few weeks. What do you want tonight? What you see from him offensively?
Yeah, and he's sometimes, like that, there's a saying about slow and steady wins the race. And that's what he's been, and that's, you look at his whole career, it's just, he just keeps getting better, better, and better, and what is he? It's hard to put him in a box because he does everything. He can run the floor in transition. He moves extremely well without the ball. He knows how to create advantages. You can put him in pick and roll. He's smart. You can execute with him. There's so many intangibles that he brings to the team, and I think his teammates are getting used to him. He's getting used to his teammates. And so it's creating big advantages for us.
What would you say about OG that you put him on somebody 7'4"?
I told you, there's only one guy like him. And it's unique because you can play him on a point guard, you can play him on a center. And so it's his gift. He's got great anticipation. He's got a great will to do it. He's got great feet, and he's got quickness, anticipation, and he's got length. It's hard to throw the ball over him. And if you mess around with it, he'll take it from you. And so that's a huge advantage, and oftentimes, those are the plays, he gets a deflection or, a steal, and it gets you, and it triggers things, that energy is, contagious, and it unites your team, it inspires your team, so, very unique.
So how captivated are you in terms of when you make the adjustment for emoji on defense?
The game will dictate, that you have that, it's, part of what you do. So, okay, what's going on in the game? Who's got it going? Is someone in foul trouble? Do you want to change the matchup to give them a different look? So there's a lot, you go into the game thinking about what the possibilities are so that you already have it in your mind that this is what we're going to do. We had talked about that yesterday, and we knew from just doing the prep work to play them, and you're watching what he's doing against other teams, so you're like, okay, if this happens, we have to know what our next step is.
So something like that, like, are you like saving for emoji on for the fourth quarter, and you're like,
Well, you want to read the game. You're looking at what you think might be the best matchups to start, and then the game happens, it unfolds, and there's a lot of things but you have to think through all the possibilities before the game. So that it slows down the decision making when those things occur. So you want to know that this is what we can do.
What was the approach for
Couple more
Laurie's
guys.
length at the rim? There's like a stat that says like when he's in the game, guys don't attack the rim. When he's not in the game, the Spurs can go more points to the rim. So how do you guys do that?
Yeah, and the same thing, it like, it might, like, you guys laugh, but it's really the truth. It's the game tells you what to do, so we want to attack the paint, we want to attack the rim, we want deep paint decisions, right? So force them to collapse, and then you got to make your reads and your decisions. Are there two on you? Is there size at the rim? And then are we moving with the ball? Are we reading the ball? So the guy with the ball knows, okay, I have two guys here, I got a guy behind me, I know exactly where everyone is, right? So, and if you get guys working together like that, then you can almost make these passes blindly to each other, knowing that he's going to be there.
What
Next
was
one.
your comfort level with Jalen in the fourth? You don't see him off the floor that long. I know he played the entire very cool. Did you have a comfort?
Yeah, well, it was just reading the game, and actually he was at the scorer's table, but the game was, we kept going. So, and we could have used the timeout, and actually we needed the timeout to advance the ball, but the game was going in a positive way, so we were waiting for the dead ball, but, it was gonna be a quick, rest for him, just to give him a minute or two, and then we were gonna use a timeout to sandwich that to get him the rest that he needed, and then he's usually good when he'll tell me, I'm ready.